You had a nice tactical find in this game. Let's review. Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. The French defense prepares for d5, but blocks in the light-squared bishop in exchange for a strong center and counterattacking chances. d4 grabs full control of the center and opens up the dark-squared bishop. d5 is a counterattack in the center that threatens the e4 pawn. Knight c3 defends the e4 pawn and pressures the d5 pawn. d takes e4 opens up the center, captures the e4 pawn and allows the queen to attack the d4 pawn. Knight takes e4 captures the undefended e4 pawn and centralizes the knight. Knight d7 develops the knight toward the center and prepares to play knight gf6, when if white, out comes the queen and into the battle. You offered your opponent the chance to trade off equal material, developing the knight and increasing influence in the center. Good job, that's what I would have played too. This adds pressure by pinning a knight. You're preparing for the game ahead, activating the bishop in the opening. This is the strongest option. You take back. Castling gets the king to a safer square. Opposite side castling can become a race to attack the kings. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Recapturing. This threatens to tactically win a rook. It's important to get all your pieces off their starting squares and into the action. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. Good thinking to bring out more pieces into the game. Right on target. Yes, this is the way. With the rook now developed as well, white has all pieces ready for action. You are threatening to capture a bishop and win material after the follow-up trades. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop. Nice, definitely the right move. This permits the opponent to eventually win material. This is the way to win material. This overlooks a better way to win a tempo by threatening a queen. A good choice to move your threatened queen. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. You create space for the king to move in case it is attacked. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. That was a fair trade. This wins a pawn. You found a safer square for your queen. This overlooks an opportunity to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. You exchange pieces of equal value. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. That was an even swap of material. This is an equal trade. You trade off equal material. This threatens to win a bishop by pinning a piece to the king. You stopped your opponent from being able to win a bishop by pinning a piece to the king. This activates a rook by getting it to the 7th rank and also restricts the king. A good choice to move your threatened pawn? This creates space for the king to move in case it is attacked. This is a fine move. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. You step your king away from the checking rook. One of the best moves. Well done, an excellent move. A solid choice. That pawn chain will help strengthen your pawn structure. A very strong play. Very good choice. This moves the rook to safety. You captured a free pawn. This evades the check from the bishop. Good job defending that pawn. Very precise. You moved the bishop to a better square. One of the best moves. Good thinking. This move puts your bishop into a stronger, more active position. A solid choice. This move attacks your opponent's pawn chain. After all captures, this is an equal trade. You captured back. A very strong play. Your bishop has more scope from this square. This challenges the other rook for control of the open file. You take back. Takes back. You move your bishop to a better place. This defends a vulnerable pawn by pinning one of its attackers. Good job stepping in to defend your bishop. This moves the rook to safety. Good job. That's what I would have played too. This blocks the check from an opposing bishop. You made a passed pawn. One of the best moves. Your bishop is no longer hanging and is now defended. A solid choice. You escape the check from the rook. A very strong play. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. One of the best moves. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. A solid choice. Passed pawns must be pushed. A very strong play. This move cuts off the check from the rook, keeping your king safe. One of the best moves. This move wins a rook. You are threatening to checkmate the king. This is the strongest option. Recapturing. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. There were worse moves, but also something much better. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. You continue the checkmate attack. A solid choice. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. Right on target. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. Very precise. Your move gets closer to checkmate. This is the strongest option. You continue the checkmate attack. The pawn is now passed because it can no longer be challenged by pawns as it tries to promote. Always feels nice to win.